Question is, what internal beliefs, fears, or behavioral patterns are preventing me from allowing myself to earn and sustain a high level of income? Uh, this is Taras, 1988.
Tara's 1988. Tara's, is that it?
Yeah,
Tara's. Is it female, male,
it's a male.
male? So Tara's 1988. So we're looking at, so he wants basically like financial independence and also to kind of like steady his field so that opportunities and money, prosperity, abundance come to him. Is that it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what is blocking me from earning a lot of money and
Oh,
could we like heal his herself to
okay.
earn.
So we're looking for blocks. We're also looking to shift things, right? So he's wanting whatever has happened in the past, we're wanting to be in the present. And then we want to shift Tadaz's field so that he's like in alignment so that um, the opportunities and the abundance can come into his life. So, okay, so we're just going to look. So this right hand is like kind of holding the present moment, the now, and then this field is kind of going through time and space. So yeah, basically the blockage is fear. So that's normal. That's the mind. So the mind will kind of hook into fear, guilt, shame, anger, sadness, and then repeat that over and over again. So we want to look at, okay, so why does Teraz, because obviously things have happened, but why is it stuck? Basically, it looks like the wheel, and then there's like a stick in the wheel so that the wheel isn't going in momentum. So we want to see why is the wheel not going in momentum? And then his okay, so this is not this life. So this is another time space. So some people call that a past life, but you don't need to believe in that because everything is in the now. So, but this isn't in his life now with his body, but the body has a memory. Um, and then the mind basically uses that body memory to keep Taraz hooked into fear. So no matter what he accomplishes, the fear comes in and then basically crashes and makes everything burn basically to the ground. So it's like a it's like a it's like a deconstruction, but it's really destroying his life. Like it's not funny, but it's like that's the pattern, but it's from the mind. So the mind is not through the organic human being. So the mind comes online later. So we want to go into the times when he was younger because he had kind of direct connection with his heart, which means connection to presence, connection to the divine. Without, it's not religious and it's not spiritual, it's alignment. Yeah. So we're just going to align his field and then so where it hit him is in the third energy center, so where the solar plexus is. So the first energy center, and if you don't believe in chakras, that's okay, but our bodies have energy centers. So in between the legs is the root chakra. That seems to be spinning. It's not fast, but it's spinning. The second chakra is like relationships and relational. It's spinning, not bad, like maybe 40 out of 100%. So, like we can do some clearing there. And then the solar plexus is where the ribs meet, and that's the power center. So that's yellow. So, okay, that's basically where he was stuck because the fear hooked into his power center. And then, that's the mind gets so tricky because it looks for the weakest part. And then once it hooks into the weakest part, it's actually not even like you don't have to be scared because it's not even like high tech. It's basically like, whatever response. The body's like, oh, and braces. The mind goes, oh, that's the ticket. Oh, that's the one. We're going to keep looping this fear over and over and over. And Taraz is like, oh my, goodness, it's been like, I've heard this same thing for 1,000 times. It's kind of like that. It just goes over and over and over and over again. So right now, what we're doing is that energy center was the main one that is stuck. So we're taking the stick out of the wheel and basically sending the stick to source. So whatever the origination was in that time space, he can always find out later if he wants what exactly the details are. But in this work, we're just going to focus on the clearing and the alignment and then the information that's needed, knowing, that this is public, basically. Okay, so he keeps his privacy, but we get the work done that needs to get done. So we're going to look at his alignment again. We took the stick, we sent it to source, which basically it's like we turn it into gold and then release it to source. And so that's been done. So now the wheel hasn't been turning for a long time, like we're saying decades, So the wheel hasn't been turning for like at least, I don't know, well, we do know. We're going to say like 30 decades. I mean, not 30 decades, maybe that is accurate, but 3 decades in this life. So he's been, hey, he gets a bit of momentum and then he gets stuck, and then he gets a bit of momentum and he gets stuck. And this is a very common pattern. So this happens to a lot of people. So this is a really good question. And so, thank you, Taras, for asking it, because you're asking it for many people. So we're just aligning all the chakras. So there's one on top of the head, and then there's one in the third eye, and there's one in the throat, one in the heart, and then the solar plexus where the ribs meet. 2 inches below the belly button is the second energy center, and then the root chakra is right kind of in between at the bottom of your legs. So like the base of the spine. So think of it that way. So we're just going to clear. So we're going to clear and bring in his alignment. And so what we're seeing is we really want to flood his system. The solar plexus, the third chakra, is yellow. So we're just flooding his system with yellow light. So we're just clearing with the yellow light, but then we're bringing in the gold light from source, like from the divine. So what is that? It's unconditional love, a love without any conditions. And then that vibration kind of is the vibration of the heart. So it's like a lock and a key. So it comes in, unlocks, and then basically we do our work and clear. So what we're doing is we're clearing his field. It will make him, when he listens to this recording, it will make him feel a little nauseous because it was stuck for so long that he's not used to feeling that momentum. And it's, that third chakra is a lot of power. And so he's been missing that power, that internal power from source, from the divine through the heart. And so now we're going to open the field up, which is like his own field, his own consciousness, which is basically we're going into the heart and then opening the heart. But it's really the heart is helping the solar plexus open. So the third energy center. So we're bringing in the yellow light, but then we're also bringing in the gold light. Okay, so as we're aligning that, so he's moving along quite well. So he was going from almost zero, like he was going at like, we're going to say like he was fluctuating between 1 to 10 out of 100, which is like nothing, no power there. So he's now at 30. So things are moving quite well, but he might feel a bit nauseous when he listens to this recording. And anytime that happens, just say yes and then breathe. So we'll just take a deep breath with him now so that he and anybody that's watching can feel what that feels like to go into presence in through the heart. So deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay, and we're going through the heart, which is the most conscious part because it can't be interfered with. So of the energy centers. So connecting. And then of course, it was like his higher self, so his higher consciousness that wanted this question to come forward because it's been holding him back. And in order to fully awaken to who you are, all those blockages, if you choose, they can all be, moved and released, because all they need is a witness. And so right now we're witnessing, and then we're sending the gold light and unconditional love from source, from the divine, to that other time space. But it's all happening in the now. So all the integration is in the now. And then, so this hand always represents the left side of the body. It's representing another time space, but ultimately it's all in the now. So just clearing, so just straightening up his posture. And then another deep breath in and out. So really anchoring then into the first chakra, which is the root chakra. And then we're going to connect to Gaia, which is the highest consciousness of Earth. It's basically what Eckhart Tolle was talking about when he mentioned, and he wrote a book, The New Earth. So that's a high level of consciousness, which will match the vibration that he's wanting to manifest and bring things through. So when he's bringing things through, it's through alignment now. And then he can just imagine connecting to Gaia, which is New Earth, the crystalline grid of Gaia. And Gaia has everything, right? Everything has all the abundance, has all the jewels, has all the gold, has all the vitamins and minerals the body needs. So we can just replenish that now, actually. We can replenish, just, we're using energy to bring in the light, the unconditional love and the golden light into all of the cells. So we'll do that. And then right away, you can see he had a boost right away. His body, it resonated with his body. He's like, oh, finally, what a relief. So now we're looking at his alignment, especially the third chakra, the third energy center, and we're saying now he's moving at 45%. So that's a big shift from zero, well, it wasn't zero, but say 1 to 10, that he was fluctuating between 1 and 10, which was very little power, which would have been very little boundaries. And think of it, an example would be like politicians love the third chakra because they love power, and then they like to expand it huge, 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 huge. So we're just saying, you're not going to overpower people. We're saying you're going to feel empowered, but it's going to be empowered through the heart and through Gaia, which is the most empowering thing you can do on earth. So he's at 55 now. So he's moving along. And then we're just getting some sound frequency to help us. So there's some pros that are calling, like sounds, call, call, call in the background. So they're helping. So we're just clearing, clearing the throat. So he'll be able to speak his truth and feel more aligned with himself. And then we're bringing more healing from Gaia, which is New Earth, into all of the cells. So the light, the unconditional love, and the golden light. So not just light, but golden light. And then that's landing in his heart. So he's having some release through his throat. So he'll feel like, oh, whoa, what happened? And then, but he's going to be able to express himself much more clearly now, and he's going to feel more safe in his body. He's going to feel stronger, actually. He's going to feel like there's a flow, and he will be amazed that he's lived this long without that flow state. So, so we're at 65. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave it with him, with his higher self, because 65 is a really good boost. Ultimately, we want, the 100%, but he's moving along quite nicely. So he's at 77 now. And he's at 88, 99. So it's full. Okay, so he's there. So now his higher self, through the heart, will anchor it with earth, basically, with the crystalline grid. So that's kind of like the flow. So he'll be in the flow state. So he's also going to be receiving, he's going to be giving, and opportunities are going to come to him. And then we're asking for like a big boost to come to him because it was blocked for so long. So we're just going to ask him to be very clear about what he wants to bring into his life and write it down, you know, and make a list. Most important thing I want, and then write it down. It's really important to write it down because it anchors it to earth. And then it's not just hovering in the mind or all around, it's anchored to the earth. Pen and paper, we're hearing, right? Not the computer, but actually pen and paper. And write it down and then just, leave it there and then release it to the higher self. Well, his higher self. You can use the word presence, you can use the word divine, you can use whatever word connects you to your heart with a bigger consciousness. So that's good. Yeah. So, and then they'll just work with him to stabilize everything. And then we already start seeing like opportunities lining up basically to come in towards him that will be heart-based. So it will be in resonance with him. So all he has to do is, breathe, drink some water, lots of water, we're hearing. Drink more water, okay? And then just ground into the body, but through the heart. And then write down what he wants. So his higher self knows what he's wanting to manifest. And then we want to say to him, and then you're golden. You'll be fine. You'll be good. You're working. It's all flowing now. He's working. So that's good. Okay. So let's take a look, final look. And yeah, he's good. So we can close. Yeah.